So this property here, I really think is stunning. This is a stunning property in terms of how it looks, what it is, and the value for money in particular. You've got 5 bedrooms, you've got 10 rooms overall. It's got that lovely garden to it in the bathrooms. It's actually got mains drainage, which is a real plus point, and it's also got central heating. Now, it does need a little bit of work doing to it, of course it does, but when you look at this property in terms of what you could do, it really is stunning. And in terms of it as well, it's an old bakery, but just look at that picture of this property, the character that that has. The roof on the surface of it looks okay, but there's so much you can do to this, and this lovely garden, the beautiful setting as well. So as you start to come through, you've even got sort of like an old orangery. It's not really, but if you look at that now, you can see all that glasswork around it in terms of what you could do. Clean it up. That gives you some kind of inside area. It's going to be super hot in the summertime, that's for sure, but it is just as a very special little thing that's got going with it. So what you can see now on this other side of the property, and this is what I just love this with some French properties, is sometimes the facade actually hides something. So when we're looking at this, you can see where it was the old bakery, you can see it's on the street, and actually you can see next door is the boulangerie. You can just see to the side of it there. So how does the picture contrast between the two? Got this one on the street side, and then this beautiful house behind when you look at it, which is all part of it. And that's what I love when you have a French property. They just sometimes flatter to deceive. So you can see you've got the frontage there, and then as we start to then make our way, you can see that you've also got this lovely view across the village square, and then to that beautiful church as well. So you can start to feel the element of Frenchness that you would have with this lovely property. So you've got the hustle and bustle to one side, and again, it is a small town, so the hustle and bustle really isn't much, but you've got that feeling of being within the town. And then when you come to the flip side of the house, then we saw that lovely garden at the start. So when you come inside, you've got this whole mixture of feelings, and that's what I found with this. You've got that first image we showed you of the outside of the property. It's got some real history to it and something else, and then the flip side, the modern feel of where the shop was and people could come in. It felt modern. So you've got these sort of old and modern. You can see the central heating in this big arch as well connecting 2 rooms. Again, you've got lovely floors coming through here as well. Now this particular shot I'm now showing you with that flash of pink, this is where the old baker's bit, so the part of the baker's side in terms of where people came in. And of course within that, then that's sort of functional in some way, shape or form. Now you might even want to have a little shop in there, who knows, but you could do something with that. So this has got lots of endless possibilities, and again, a lovely stairway, and you can just see I love to highlight these stairs, and you can see that they're in good order. We're actually just looking down the stairs on this one. Good order in terms of the flooring, the wooden flooring in particular. You start to look around, you're going to have to put some money into this. Of course you are. You're going to have to bring it up to the standard that you want, and the colours you want, and the paint and everything else. But the windows overall look good. Flooring is good, and so those are the kind of things you start to look at it and go, okay, it's cosmetic. You're probably going to put a new kitchen in, and you're going to put tiling in. So yes, you're going to spend money on it, but it's not complete renovation, and I think it's a lot of value in this for the price. So we look round again, Lighton area. This is just off the main one. You can see just a little slither of the church from this particular window here as well. And then you've got Lighton area, and again with the central heating that's there. So it is spacious. It is very spacious. And I think it's a sort of split is the way I found with this property. You've got a split now between more modern to the one side and then a little bit more historic to the other side of the house. Yes, you look at the bathroom, that's going to need updating. You might even want to put another bathroom in somewhere else in the property. It's only got the one. So you can see that that's what you've got to do with this. You've then got potential. When we start to look at this area here, you start to see the potential. Now when you look at this is the old grain store of coming in. You can just see to the corner it's likely to be that, or it's actually part of the heating system that's there. But this, in terms of what it is, flooring looks good, both the up and above, and the beams look in good order as well. This gives you the scope to do something else to it. This is sort of to the one side of it. And then when we come up into the ceiling, you can see here. Now, when we look here in terms of this, good flooring there, beams look good. For me, I'd be looking to insulate this. I'd be going, right, let's get this insulated, keep everything warm, turn this into another functional part. So when you look out, you've got the lawns laid out, you've got this feeling of space, you can look out into the distance. And again, this outside space is great. And so for me overall, when you just have a look at some more of the images of this lovely property, there's a lot going for it in terms of what it's got and where it is. And again, we're looking at the price. You know, this episode we are looking at properties around that 99,000 mark. So this is in the heart of a village. It's got things going with it. You could actually go straight in and move in. You've got the 4 bedroom, get on with it, but it's also got other things to do with it. You've got the courtyard around the back. It just has a bit of everything for me, and that's what I like. I think this is just one that you should look at. Situation is good as well in terms of where it is and the price that reflects that. It's actually in quite a very popular area in terms of its location here in France. I just think you should have a look at it. I think it's good value for money. Put your own stamp on it, but you would end up with a lovely village house in a lovely little village. So this property here we're going to show you, I'm showing you an aerial photo. It was the only one we could actually get, so it's an aerial photo, but the reason I'm giving you the aerial photo gives you a scale of what we're looking at. So we're actually looking here at a family home in a forest setting, and that's what I like here. So for me, when we start to have a look at what this is and the way that it works, it's got 5 bedrooms within, the 6 rooms overall on top of those. There's a septic tank. Not sure if it's up to standard or not, but it's got septic tank, it's got central heating, and it's got this garden, but it's also set in a reasonable plot size. When we look at that kind of plot size, we're just over an acre in terms of it, and for me, that's what I love about this. It's just got potential to do. It's particularly, again, it's got a lovely location in terms of where it is. You've also then got not only the house, you've got that large barn as well. You've got a meadow that then goes down into the valley. It's got a natural spring, and you've got a fishery as well. So for me, this has got a lot going for it. And what we're always looking for with properties, we like to show properties that people can move straight into. We like to show properties at different prices. We like to show properties you can add something to. We also look at properties where you can have a business from it as well. This opens itself up to a number of things here. Its location and what it is, you could do so much with it. You could create a holiday home, you could create gîtes out of it, you've got the hangar, which is the barn you could convert and do to. So there's endless possibilities. And again, we're looking around this 100,000 mark. And when we look at that 100,000, that 99,000 mark, what we're looking at here is the potential. Now, I think you'd have to sink money into this one, but it's a really pretty property. As we start to look at the property now with much more up-to-date imagery for it, we look at this house, you can see the character it's got, and you can see the potential you can have with it. The roof looks in good order, which is great. You've got those integrated shutters within there. I think this property, spruced up and going for it, is going to be lovely. And for me, you can move in. It definitely needs updating. You'd need to look at the boiler and everything that goes along with it. It's a very traditional French kitchen in there. It's going to need updating. You're going to have to put windows into it. But the reason we bought you this one is because, again, it has value for what it is and what you could do with it. But you're probably going to have to double your money in terms of what you're going to have to put into it. It's got space, and it's got the windows. It's got the character. It's got the old fireplaces within that you can see. And I love a really good fireplace. Look at this fireplace, and we can just imagine that, the wood burner in there roaring away, bringing heat back into that room and making it work. Got the central heating, and again, just see how that would work. To the surface of this, it's going to need new windows. It's definitely going to need the windows, and then within it you're going to have to do some updating and make it through, but it's got the bathrooms that go with it. Flooring looks okay. I'd love to be able to get underneath some of the flooring and see what really is there. And also then the walls, you can see that this property hasn't had much done to it for a number of years now. But structurally, it's a good one. It isn't that old in terms of it. It's a 20th century property. So it isn't that old in the real grand scheme of things. So it's not something that's hundreds and hundreds of years old. So again, one would hope that the structure is pretty good in terms of that. So it's got all of these rooms, and you can see the walling inside. You can see how it's been all put together. So for me, the reason I bought this is it's in this nice forest setting. It's got a bit of land with it. It's got the fishery. It's got streams. It's got something lovely about it. So if you want to make this really lovely family home, you can. And I think it's a family home. This isn't for the faint-hearted. This is a family home or a business opportunity that goes with it as well. And so as you start to feel more about it, you've got space, you've got storage, you've got the ability then to be able to do a lot more with it. You can come upstairs as well, up into the eaves, and that just gives you a little glimpse into the the roof that's there. So when you start to look at this, for me, it's going to need insulation on terms of this one to bring it in, keep it warmer. But that's another area you can use. You can use that attic area. The floor looks good. You can make something else out of that if you wanted to, be it a games room, be it further bedrooms. You know, it is there for you to be doing, but you should be then looking about insulation. That's why there is money to be spent on this one. And so as we sort of guide through, you can come down into the carve as well, which is there. And that's always a lovely little touch in terms of that, keeping everything cool. You've got some outhouses. So we've got this outhouse that comes with it as well, again for storage. And you can see you can keep all your stuff for the garden in there. And then you've got this other little kind of storage area that's probably going to be great for your mowers. That's sort of part and parcel of what's going on now as you're over in that hangar, that barn area. If you were to do something with the barn, it's going to most probably have to be re-roofed. But again, you want to have a look at it. So it does have the potential to do something from that element. So sort of, for me, again, it's got more to it. You've got that fishery. So for me, the overall feeling is you're going to have to do more to the property. Of course you are. You can bring it up to something. You've got potential to do lots with it. It could be a holiday home. It could be. So this isn't one of those cheaper properties that you can move in and go, oh, that's great. This is a cheaper property because you're going to have to do work to it. So this 99,000, this 100,000 euro, around that mark in terms of the properties we're showing you. They're not always renovations. They can be smaller properties as well that you can move into, and location as well can be something. So again, and this is why I talk about properties that flatter to deceive. This properties you look on the outside, you're like, why are we looking at this property? Well, we're looking at this property because of one, its situation. It's a really nice situation in terms of where it is, and I think that situation is definitely what really starts to sell it for me, is when you start to look where you are in terms of not far from Béziers. You're only 35 minutes from the beaches. This is a really nice property. It's a village house. It needs a little bit doing to it, but really doesn't need much. It's got 3 bedrooms, a couple of shower rooms. It's got an attic you can do something to, which I'm going to show you around. It's got a patio, and it's not far from a river as well. But this is town living down in the south of France, the sort of south of France. So when you're down in the Béziers area, it gives you the ability to get to the Mediterranean coast. You're not right across, say, over in the Var, where it's so much more expensive, but you are just that little bit more inland. For me, that reason I looked at this property was like, this is a lovely property to retire to. You're going to have to do a little bit of work. But if you're going, I want a property, look at these rooms. These rooms are ready to go. They just need a little lick of paint. You've got the floors in there, those lovely stone floors, keep it cool in the summer, particularly based on where it is. We've got that. And you've got this little way, this little courtyardy bit. It's not really a courtyard, but it's just off the road. But again, you feel that element of Frenchness, particularly where this is, that feel to it, that little bit of feel, that history and everything else that comes around with that part of France. Remember, in France, every area is just slightly different, and sometimes they're massively different in terms of that. We come into the kitchen area. It's going to need renovating, I think. It's just going to need new units and all put into the way that you want it to be. But when you structurally look at this, structurally it's looking good. You've got the walls and you've got the floors and everything that goes with it. So I think this is great. So I just think this is a property that might well suit a couple. It might well suit a couple, probably maybe in their 50s, looking to move to France, still potter or do a little bit of something like that, but still got that life about them to really enjoy it. And they don't want to get sunk into a massive project, but want to be able to enjoy France and sort of just a potter as you go along to be able to do it. You've got the rooms that are there, again, light and airy in terms of these bedrooms. Nice windows. Windows are good. Space as well. We've got the space that's there. Flooring looks great in terms of this. And then, you know, again, staircase going up. I love those, but you can see the old stone staircase that comes up from there. The bathroom's okay. It probably needs a bit doing to it. Maybe a little flash of colour in there. Maybe a different sink and play around with the shower areas. But it's all very functional. And that sitting room area, you can see how that's the heart of it. And that, to me, is lovely for where that is. Now, you've also got the ability, you could just buy this, do it up, and then it could be a holiday rental. This could be a second home. A lock up and leave as well is a real potential with this one. You can see as you go further up into the building, we come up again up onto another floor. It still looks structurally great, and you've got the ability to put something in there. So for me, when I look at the property and I think, what is it? It is a townhouse. it looks ish from the outside, but what do you expect? It's the inside that you really want to be able to do and enjoy the views and hear that hustle and bustle of the town, particularly where you are. Shut yourself in when it's really hot, but you've also got that little courtyard area, again, just to sit there and enjoy a glass of wine and a little bit of shade and feel that warmth as well. So for me, you've got to look past that outside and go, oh, the inside is what I want. And that's the bit that really sold it to me. So you've got the outside areas, and again, you could little storage and a bit of space for different things that are there. And so for me, when you look at it, there is a lot you can do with this property. And I think it's got lots going for it in terms of where its position is. Lots of paint will make a difference, and just some modernisation in terms of where we are with it and the way that it works. So you've got all these different aspects that I've been showing you, and you can see the different bathrooms and what we've got with this. So it is a property that's definitely worth looking at, and it's that convertible attic, and you've got the cellars and also the patio. So you have got that. So it is a village house. It's got reasonable living area. You've got the convertible attic if you want to. You're just in the middle of that, in the middle of that village. The river is there as well. You've also got a parking space, and that is useful for having that as well. So when we look at it, I think overall, coming down in that kind of area, when you're heading down to the south of France, in terms of what it's got, it has a lot going for it. But again, you're going to have to spend some money on this one. It's going to need a bit of updating and bringing back together. I don't quite know what it would cost, but I reckon somewhere between 40 and 50, maybe a little bit less if you're going to do some of it yourself, will get you a really nice finished property that you've put down in there, and you've got everything about it. So you can see it's going to need some work, but it's not going to need that much work. And particularly to get going, you can get going with it and then start to do some of the work as you go along. So it's not like you can't move in. You can definitely move in. Definitely part of the property is there. It's livable. You can see that it's been lived in already, so that is there. So it's being lived in. You can live in, and then you can start to do other things as you wish as you go along. And so for me, that's where I see the value again. I see the value in terms of where it is, and it's just, for me, every time with any property, the property is worth what it's worth to the person wanting to buy it. And that might sound obvious, but there are thousands of properties in France. But the right person who wants the right property will pay the right price that it is. I thought with this property we'd start with the view. Again, the property where it's situated sort of southwest France, southwest France. So it's situated not too far from the Spanish border, not too far from the coast, southwest of Toulouse, heading down into that lovely region down the Languedoc-Roussillon area. In terms of the view, for me, got it as we start to take you around this house in terms of what the house is. And it's a village house. It does have parking. It's got a detached garden. It's also got additional outside areas. So for me, this is a lovely, charming holiday home, or a lovely, charming house that you can live in. And it's just set over 3 levels. And I like it. There was something that just caught me. And again, there's 1 or 2 images I'm going to show you. It caught me for its situation. It's quite hilly in the area, but again, just being able to get to things. And that's what I thought was really nice, is in terms of what you can get to. You can get down to Carcassonne. Carcassonne, with all of its history, is only an hour and a half away, as is the Med Coast as well. And then we've got ski stations. You could be skiing in Spain in a couple of hours. So this is a very special property if you want to come and live in France, but you want to be able to explore France, and you want to be down in that southern area. You can get across into Spain, but of course then you can get across into Italy. Be able to get into Italy again within a couple of hours. Gives you that ability to go along all of that lovely south of France coast and be able to tour and then come up into France as well. So I thought, for me, this was like, it had something for that type of people, or that type of person who wants to enjoy that. Family house potentially, but definitely a couple's house or a singles house, particularly those who want to be able to get out and about as well, but still feel that they are in a town. And when we look at the property, then we've sort of shown you that view, and then we're going to show you some of the outside bits really. So you've got some outside storage areas, but again, they could be eating areas. Now you see the house, and for me, again, it's just one of these ones. It's like, the house from the outside is not quite telling you what's inside. Now for me, again, you'd have to speak to the marine. Maybe you want to paint it to give it a bit of life, but you'd have to talk to the marine in terms of the colour you could or couldn't have, because that's all something to think about. So this is the house, and as we start to look at the house then as we go forward, you've got that garden. You've got a lovely little garden now, and in terms, I like that garden. You've got the fruit trees there. You can do more to it. You can see you've got the workshop at the end. Come into the kitchen. It needs updating. It needs something doing. Yes, it does. It's got that stone floor that's with it as well. So we start to come around, look at that fireplace. I mean, again, that's got a bit of history to it, I think, although it could be slightly modern, but it's a great fireplace in terms of what that is, and that will give you some heat coming through. And you can either have it as open, or you actually might want to put a wood burner in, which is potentially what I would do. So again, that's all within that kitchen area as well, and the dining area that we've got. So it's fairly cozy and compact as we come down. Got this other room, sort of sitting room is probably what it was, but you could have it as any way that you want. You can see you've got the central heating, got the light, stone floors within that. And again, you've just got to start to think about how you would do it. You might even want to completely change the layout, and then we can come up into the bedroom. It looks slightly smaller bedroom, but that's more because the units are pushing in, so it's not too bad a size. Floors look all right. It's got light coming into it as well. Got a bigger bedroom now. This bigger bedroom, again, you'd be redoing elements of this, but a bigger bedroom that's there, and it's got the potential with that light streaming in. Do like that, and you've got another bedroom, nice and light an area, and again you've got space. So you've got the space here with those bedrooms. It really does need a lick of paint, and what a transformation it would be. The same with the bathroom. That's a big bathroom area that you've got. You'd probably want to put a shower in there. You probably want to take the bidet out and put a shower in, and a bath as well if you wanted. It gives you the ability then of a nice big bathroom. You've also then got other little areas. You've got like a workshop and a carve that comes with it as well, again giving you storage. And then we're back out in that outside area. As I said, in this outside area, you might want that to be like a barbecue area. It could be a bit of undercover seating as well that you could have, particularly in those summer nights. So that to me is quite nice. It's more multifunctional. It's got a bit of history in terms of what was coming in there. Got more storage for more wood that's there. And so for me, just starting to look then is you've got that, and then when you come to the garden again, we're looking at the garden now from a different angle, so you've got a little bit of garden with this, which is really nice. So you've got this detached garden from it, but you can see way in the distance, you can see the hills turning into mountains. That gives you a sense of feeling of where you are. You'd have your own little bit of tranquility here planted up. Imagine what that looks like this time of year. So when you're looking in the summer months, that will be absolutely lovely and giving you shade, but also giving you something you can really work on. And I'm pretty sure there's a stream very close to that as well. And so finally, for this property, you can see where you've got different access points into it. I think this property and the views and the situation would be ideal for those kind of people looking to be able to enjoy France or have it as a holiday home. But the village itself is a lovely village. It's got a school as well. It's got all the amenities that you want. And so for me, this has a lot going for it based on where it is. And that's the other thing that you've got to think about, is that you've got this outside area, so we've got that potential that goes with it. So there's a lot here based on where it is. And that's why when we're showing you properties around this kind of 100,099 mark, a majority are going to have something to do with it. Some won't, but they're much smaller. So there's lots of potential. So we just want to give you a flavour of the different types of properties you can get through France for around €99,000.